You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh, man. Forks up, baby. Fall down, Arizona. No pity for that kitty. Thanks for tuning in to Locked On Sun Devils podcast, everyone. I'm Richie Bradshaw, your guide for everything Arizona State, and we're here to celebrate. This is not some podcast today. This is not some lecture, not even really a reaction. No, we're here to vibe. We're here to hang out, and it's going to be a great time. There is all sorts of stuff popping off right now, and I hope that everyone out there is saying forks up, Sun Devils. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let's have a good time. What did you guys do for today's game? I did not get credentialed because U of A has no room in their press box. So I said, oh no, I guess I'll just have a bunch of friends over and watch the game. And lo and behold, we did. What a great win. What a great win. A little bit of water. This was legitimately one of the best wins in the history of this rivalry for the program. And it is so important that ASU was able to come out, dominate U of A the way that they did. It was important for ASU to come out and win this game, period. It was important for ASU to set the tone, play the full 60 minutes like they did. Because what have we seen the past couple of weeks? It's ASU gets up early in the first half and they let these teams back in the second half. And they didn't do that this week. Nope. This team came out in the first half. They put a butt whooping on them, shut them out in the first half. Then U of A comes out, scores a touchdown, and ASU says, no, that's not how this is going to go down again. And they proceeded to just kick the you-know-what out of them. It was brilliant. It was awesome. It was so much fun to see. Also, if you guys caught the end of the game where Jacob Richcon-Geika went and planted the flag, or not the flag, oh my goodness, I keep saying trident, the pitchfork at midfield for Arizona State. It's that much better because if you didn't know, and I think they said it on the broadcast, but if you didn't know, Jacob Richcon-Geika is a reformed Arizona Wildcat. Now playing for the good guys, and he is 3-0 in that rivalry. 1-0 with the good times. Hopefully he'll be 2-0 if he decides to come back. I don't see why he wouldn't with everything that we're building right now. This is a special win. And I'm going to be scrolling through Twitter while we're on here talking and shooting the stuff because this is just so much fun. And I know that there's going to be all sorts of good memes and good tweets on here. I've had a really good time. BC, welcome to the chat. I'm also reading messages, by the way. John Emler, I hope I pronounced that right. Have you heard of an update on Jordan Tyson? I have not seen any updates come across. The one thing I saw was that Dillingham didn't have a specific update at the time of the press conference. I don't know what that means, and I really hope that it's not anything serious. I saw someone say that it is a collarbone injury, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but he was wearing a sling, and his shoulder looked fine, but I've never broken a collarbone, so I don't know if that's what it looks like or anything like that. So I don't know what happened to him, but if it is something serious, then, obviously sit him out next week against in the Big 12 championship, because you're more than likely going to the Big 12 championship, which is utterly insane. So you hold him out for next week, or if you don't, you just don't play him in the bowl game because it's not worth it. And if you end up advancing to the college football playoff, you just want him rested as much as he can. Like, you're not going to rush him at this point. If he's done for the year, he's done for the year, which would suck, but there's no point in rushing out arguably your best offensive weapon. It's him or Scadaboo. It's probably Scadaboo and then a little bit of a drop off to Tyson, but I'd listen to an argument because Tyson has been outstanding. He's been one of the best receivers in college football the last month and a half. You do not want to put him in a position where he could re-injure or re-aggravate himself. So don't worry about that. It is a a situation where this needs to be bigger than the game, and you need to understand that you're playing for your future as well. And if you rush him back out there and he re-aggravates an injury, that's good for no one. That's not good for Tyson. It's not good for the program. So take your time with him. Hopefully he's not out for the year. Hopefully it's nothing serious and it was a lot more like precautionary to put him in the sling and everything. But there's no immediate update as of now. I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been Carpman who put it out and said Kenny Dillingham doesn't have a definitive update at this time. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood, say a prayer, do whatever you got to do to hope that he is going to be okay. ASU finger red number 1. I'll bet he's out until next season. I'd like to host a college football playoff game. I would like to host a college football playoff game if we don't get a bye. It's not impossible for us to get a bye. Like, there's a chance that Boise State does lose the Mountain West Championship game next week against probably UNLV, maybe Colorado State. I don't know who is going to advance. I know UNLV has a very good chance. And if they lose, then ASU will rightfully take the bye week. If they don't, then this is why all of this week, if you tuned into the show, I was saying you should be ranked no lower than 8 when it's all said and done. Because if you don't have a bye week, then the next top 4 seeds, so 5, 6, 7, 8, will host a playoff game. So no lower than 8 if ASU ends up winning the Big 12 championship. No less than 8, because we absolutely should be hosting a playoff game in a worst case scenario. All right, what's going on? R Yates 16, where's Drake? I thought ASU was losing today. I'm going to have a conversation with my boy Drake Toll. I love him to pieces. He's funny as all be and great time to hang out with. But man, where's the ASU hate coming from? Like, come on, Drake. What are we doing? Get with the program, brother. So don't worry. I'll be on his butt to get him on that. Charles Bauman, what's going on? Classic Devils. Absolutely. Charles Wilson. What a wonderful day. Shout out from Tempe. Woot woot. BC, it felt so good that U of A chat, to troll that U of A chat. I hope that we went absolutely crazy. And if BC and Charles Wilson teamed up to take on some U of A fans, and you are doing the Lord's work, and have a drink for me. I only have water at the moment. I haven't decided what I'm going to do after the live, but I'm going to have as good a time as any. And I hope you guys do too. If any students are tuned into this, wait for the buses for ASU players to get home. Spoke with former linebacker Brandon McGee yesterday. If you missed that one, definitely check it out. I had to censor him a handful of times because he's super passionate and hilarious, but my bosses would not go for it if I had a couple of F-bombs in the show. He's awesome. And one of the things he said was when they would get a win in Tucson and they would come home, the best experiences for them were the students and the fans waiting outside of where the buses were to celebrate and cheer them on. So if you are able to go there, go there. These guys deserve the love and attention. I'm not sure when the buses take off. I'm sure for those of you who know the players, they would probably be more than happy to tell you, hey, we took off. It's going to be like 2.5 hour drive. Find a way to celebrate with these guys because they deserve to celebrate this. What a phenomenal win. What an absolutely phenomenal win. All right, BC, they win the Big 12 title game. They definitely will be top 8. I think they will be at least 12 after this. I hope so too, but that's what I thought going into last week. And the playoff committee appears to be very inconsistent. You also saw Alabama win today against Auburn. And since they put Bama at 13, that was them making sure that no matter what, Bama made it to the playoffs. So ASU is still going to be competing for seeding. And if Boise State wins out, they will have the bye week, which means it's up to the playoff committee to decide where to leave Arizona State and see where they would like to slot them. ASU should be no worse than 8. They should be closer to 5 than 8. But the playoff committee is very untrustworthy at this point in time. All right, let's see what else is going on. Drake now admits he was dead wrong. Did he actually? or are we manifesting it? Because if he did, then that's absolutely amazing. You know, I'm on Twitter, like I said. Let's go ahead and check the Locked On Big 12 page. Let's see. If 5-7 Kansas was in the SEC, they'd be under serious consideration for the college football playoff. Well, there's your typical. Got to talk about everybody else. Come on, Drake. Where is your love for ASU? The only thing I see is BYU versus Arizona State Big 12 title, and I quoted that. I was like, this has to be another BYU account at this point. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't see anything for ASU. All right, well, I have his number, and I'll give him a call and just harass him. He's at the Iowa State game right now, so I will be blowing him up and saying, "Hey, Drake, why don't you come on Locked On Sun Devils? My followers and my subscribers would love to have a conversation with you." I might have to bug him a lot to get him on. Charles Wilson, BC and I were trolling over 400 U of A fans. That's crazy. Did you guys find like a message board or something, or like a Reddit thread, or where were you guys finding this, that you found 400 U of A fans to troll? That's phenomenal. 10-2 in basketball, or 10-2 in football, 7-1 in basketball. Yeah, turns out it's not even basketball season for U of A. They stink. 3-4, bottom of the conference. ASU 7-1. I think they're third in the conference because 2 teams are undefeated. So yeah, outstanding. We run the state, baby. We're not a football school. We're not a basketball school. Not a hockey school. Not a swim and dive. Not golf. Not baseball. Not volleyball. Not gym. Not cross country. We are an everything school. We are an everything school here at Arizona State University. We do it all. And everybody knows it now. ASU, that sleeping giant, he woke up. And ASU's up, and ASU's pissed. And we're about to have some really, really, really good times. All right, let's see. Let's check in on everything else. I might go to the buses. I live off Farmer. If you can, definitely. I 100% encourage you guys, go out there, celebrate. These guys deserve the love that they have done all year long. And like I said, I spoke with Brandon McGee, the former ASU linebacker, and he told me that was one of his best memories as an ASU player. I promise you, he's not alone in that. Go out there, show these guys how much you care, how much you love them, how much you support them. He did in his emergency broadcast. Okay, I'll have to track that down from Mr. Toll. Josh, PHNX had to do it. Okay, yeah, that's not a surprise. PHNX. So you guys had a lot of fun with Michael Luke, then, I assume. So Michael's funny. He's knowledgeable. Good for PHNX getting a little sass over there. I was bullying them too, Josh. Good for you. Love to see it. So we need K-State and BYU to win. We trolled the U of A pod, AZ Sports or something, or all of them. Do all of them. So if TCU wins, and TCU is playing Cincinnati right now, and going into halftime, I want to say it was like 20-7. If TCU wins, that's it. That's all we need. We're done. We're good. We go to the Big 12 championship game. So turn on the TCU game and make sure that you're staying up to date with it. In fact, I am going to pull it up for myself right now. Let's give you guys an update here. TCU is up 20-7 with 7 minutes and 14 seconds in the third quarter. So no scoring has happened in the second half yet. TCU should be in control. And again, TCU wins, we're in. That's all we need. All right, lots of comments. I appreciate you guys coming in. This is going to be a vibe. This is going to be a good vibe. Like normally I try and do my lives only 30 minutes, which would mean we're halfway done. I don't think we're going to do 30. We're going to have fun. I don't have a timetable on this. All right, let's see what else is going on. That Locked On Big 12 guy is a total homer from BYU. He sure is, and I love him. I love Drake Toll, but yeah, he loves BYU, and he loves the other Big 12 teams. And I got to remind him that ASU is a Big 12 team, I guess. Chris Crivetti, I apologize if I don't pronounce your name right. ASU is dominating. Yes, they are, Chris. Welcome in. John Emler, love that interview. I hope he gets a chance to talk to the players before next year's game with U of A. Appreciate you tuning into that, and I agree. I'm going to find someone and get in their ear. And I'm going to say, dude, you got to get Brandon McGee out here. Like, if you want someone to hype these kids up, it's got to be Brandon McGee. Like, this, one of the most underappreciated linebackers in Sun Devil history. Because he played next to Perfect, and Will Sutton was in front of him, and they just had a great defense in that late 2000s, early 2010s. And McGee was a beast, and he was a monster. And I truly don't know if anybody hates U of A or just Tucson in general the way that Brandon McGee does. He's a guy that keeps you hyped and ready to run through a wall. I would love nothing more than for these 18 to 22, 23-year-old kids to soak in a player that hates Tucson and hates U of A as much as he does and just get ready for that fight. It'd be amazing. Joshua Ladd is in here. I hope Tyson's okay. Committee may take that into consideration for the rankings. We should just celebrate tonight. I'm with you. Yeah. You know, this is a big win for us, and we should definitely take the time to step back, celebrate, pop some bubbly, do whatever you want to do as long as you are safe and responsible, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, you can always get your Z-Biotic, too, to make sure that you don't get hungover in the morning. I really hope that that's not something the committee would take into consideration. Like, when Florida State lost Jordan Travis, totally different thing. Travis was a Heisman contending quarterback. Tyson is one of the best kept secrets in football at wide receiver, but this team still has Cam Scatterbo. They still have Sam Levitt. They still got a good defense. Like, missing Tyson is undoubtedly a big blow. It's not nearly the blow that was dealt to Florida State when they lost Jordan Travis. So that, I hope that's not the case. I really do. All right. Laugh aloud, you know him. Timberwolf 95 with a Cardinal logo. Interesting. I wonder where you're from. Let's go. Forks up. Always great to see a blowout and a win against the Cats. Dude, there's nothing better than a win against the Cats. It's as good as it gets. And not just winning, but beating them down and beating them down in Tucson. By the way, it might be a good thing that I did not make it to Tucson this year. I have been to Tucson twice for an ASU game. I am 0-2. I went to the one 2 years ago where we lost, I think it was like a 2-point game because of that Bourget fumble. And then in the 2015, maybe 2016 season, I went to a game we lost, and Brandon Dawkins, the U of A quarterback, ran all over us. I have been to Tucson twice for a game. We have lost twice. I didn't go today, and they blew him out. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe I am not supposed to go to Tucson for these football games. Maybe a blessing in disguise. Chris Craviti, Todd Graham, TCU coach. Is he really? I guess I haven't looked into that. Good for Todd Graham if he is. This is the most in the chat ever. We're having a good time. We're popping off right now. Basketball and football ranked top 25 on Monday. When's the last time for that? I literally was bringing that up with my dad not too long ago. There's a really, really good chance that ASU basketball ends up being ranked on Monday. I have no idea when the last time was that ASU football and basketball were both ranked together. When was the last time ASU football and basketball was ranked? Okay. In the meantime, Satan and Satin, crazy name. Forks up. Love it. You know we forks up in here. Mega Phoenix 602 AZ. I can't think of a better name for an Arizona native. ASU, you know it. Charles Bauman. K-State and Iowa are tied right now. Interesting. That is very interesting. Let's see. Well, that's not going to answer my question. We'll find it, and I'm sure someone else will pull it up too. You pronounce my name right. You say it like an Italian. So Chris Cravidi, and I got to do the little thing too with it, right? All right, let's see. Josh, can you blame him for hating Tucson? I was born and raised in Casa Grande. Got to live that rivalry every year in town. It was awesome, but yeah, Tucson is disgusting. They are proud to call it the Dirty T, and that's like the weirdest flex ever. I don't get that. I don't know. Like if someone called Tempe the Dirty T, I would take offense to that. So I get maybe it's supposed to be an insult, and they have tried to turn it into like armor for them of like, oh, you can't hurt us because this is our insult kind of thing. Like that would make sense. But like if you created that yourself, that's weird. I would never call Tempe the dirty T. So whatever, make some happy, and I don't have to go there ever. I might make it down for the basketball game this year. Whew, that'd be fun. Imagine Josan Sanin just walking onto the field, or the field, walking onto the court, and just the boos from the McHale Center. Oh, I get chills just thinking about it. Oh, man. I am celebrating with Coke Zero and potato chips. That sounds like a pretty good party to me. I got Coke and Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew. I got some bags of chips. Might have to do that myself. Any updates on Tyson's collarbone? I have not seen anything. Like I said earlier, I don't know for sure if it's a collarbone. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But what we saw was him in a sling on his arm. His shoulder looked fine, but again, I have no idea. Maybe it was a broken collarbone, or maybe he really messed up his arm. He definitely came down really tough on that elbow, which would have put stress all over that place. So I have no idea, and I'm not good with like physical therapy or sports therapy or anything like that. So I have nothing, but I also have not seen anything at this point in time. We'll go ahead and jump back on Twitter here for a second, see if anyone shot off any updates, because you have to have all the notifications on for Devil's Digest and 24/7 and Michelle Gardner and Brad Denny and all my good people. Let's see if they have any updates here. I'm not seeing anything right now. Michelle Gardner said that Cam Scattaboo was a almost unanimous Territorial Cup MVP. Sam Levitt got 1 vote. Jordan Tyson got 1 vote. So it's pretty sweet. I'm not seeing anything on Tyson. I can try and look it up too, but I don't know that we're going to have anything definitive on Tyson for a little while. I don't know if we'll get anything tonight, honestly, because they still got to make that bus drive home and everything. So yeah, I don't see anything too big. And again, when Kenny was asked about it, he just kind of said, we don't really have an update at this time. We'll have to get back to you. All right, let's see. Women's basketball was ranked like 2012. We got to get our women's team back going, man. That'd be fun. It's a shoulder sprain. It'll be a few weeks. If it's a shoulder sprain, that's a huge win. You sit them out next week for the Big 12 championship. And then, I actually don't know what the college football playoff schedule is. I guess we can look that up. Football playoff. My computer's nice and slow. Playoff schedule. So we'll pull that up. Arizona Cardinals on SI. That's my boy, Donnie Druin. Big win for the Cardinals. Donnie, shout out to you, brother, and have fun at the Suns game tonight. I'll see you very soon. If you guys didn't know, I help contribute for Sports Illustrated for the Arizona Cardinals. So if you're a Cardinals fan, I got your coverage there too. And me and my boy Donnie Druin have the Arizona State Arizona State Cardinals on SI podcast, which we do weekly. So you guys will have to check that out as well if you are Cardinal fans. So we got everything that you need going. Donnie, shout out to you, brother. Hopefully the Footprint Center is popping for you as well. Jorge Aguilar, let's go Devils. You know it. Craig, I don't want to mess up your last name. Wow, great season, Devils. Now we're on to the Big 12 championship. Prayers for Tyson. Great showing from Scattaboo. TB16 and the whole gang for being faithful. Dude, it was just a great game. Like, so much went right in this game. You did everything you could on offense. This was the most yards that ASU football has ever had in a Territorial Cup. Or at least it was the most in a long time. I want to say it was the most ever, which is crazy to think that you had more yards in this game than he did 70-7. By the way, the score may not have been 70-7. This was a 70-7 kind of beatdown. They killed it on offense. They ran for over 200 yards. They had 200-yard runners. Kyson Brown, 8 or 9 carries for 100 yards flat. Scattaboo ran for 170-something, I want to say. Sam Levitt threw all around the yard, 3 touchdowns through the air. It's been phenomenal. Defense played great. They didn't give up anything. Like, even Tedero McMillan, who, is arguably the best receiver in the country, he didn't have 100 yards. He did get in the end zone, But what did he end up? Did he have 70 yards? 68. 6 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. He had exactly half of their passing yards. They had 126 total passing yards. They also only had 84 rushing yards, and that was with 2 sacks, both courtesy of Elijah O'Neal. They dominated this game. They were able to get an interception late with LT Welsh. They were setting the tone. They were making big hits. Melkon Stovall had himself a really nice day. Shout out Derek Yubio for his first ever catch going for a 64-yard touchdown. Derek Yubio is a walk-on for ASU. So that was so freaking cool to see him pull that in. Major shout out Derek Yubio. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that is the thumbnail I used for this, right? If I go to my live, it sure is. Yeah. The thumbnail for this video, when you click on it, is Derek Yubio. So congrats to Derek. That was an awesome game for him. Also love that Trenton Bourget got on the field this year, and for him to throw that touchdown in Tucson, that much sweeter. Great game for ASU, man. And in every phase, well, not every phase, special teams still stinks. If we didn't attempt another field goal for the rest of the year, it would be too soon. Big yikes. But hey, we get our PATs. That's worth something, I suppose. All right. Great win, Craig. JH, what's going on? If the Sun Devils get the 4th seed, we will host the Fiesta Bowl. Can you imagine if ASU got to host the Fiesta Bowl? And with the way that this valley's activated right now, that's a home game. And I mean, like, it should minimum be a 60-40 split in that stadium, no matter who you're playing. I don't care if it's Georgia. I don't care if it's Ohio State, Oregon. I don't care. Whoever you play, if they have to come to Glendale, Arizona for the Fiesta Bowl, that is a home game for ASU. So perfect. I guess I'm rooting for the 4 seed there. Speaking of which, I was going to look at the schedule. Okay, so if ASU is only in the first round and they don't get that bye, the games start. There's one game on Friday, December 20th, and there are 3 games on Saturday, December 21st. So you're talking. So let's say, because this is related to Tyson. So we'll say that Tyson misses next week. So he would have about 3 weeks to recover. And then if we had a bowl game, he would have another week and a couple of days to get healthy for the quarterfinals. So at least 3 weeks if ASU is able to host a playoff game. Almost a month if ASU ends up having one of the byes. So that's not the worst case scenario that you're looking at here, is having that little bit of time to yourself. All right, let's get back to the chat. TCU game in Cincy has snow coming down. Sheesh. Better for Cincy. TCU is a warm weather team. That's definitely an advantage. The good news is I know that TCU has been handling business for the most part. They're fine on offense. Hoover, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. They're okay on the ground. What you're hoping for is that the lead they have now, 20-7, they just don't surrender it. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the third, and it's still 20-7. So as long as they don't allow Cincinnati to score any for the rest of the game, you're fine. A 20-7 win is still a win. Oh, man, chat is popping off today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is going to be a blast. Yeah, we're not going to be done in 1 minute. We're still going to be hanging out for a little bit. Oh, man. What else? Charles Wilson. Oh, we just read that one. Jorge Scadaboo, what a devil, what a beast. If you don't know Jorge, he is the people's running back, according to the fine folks at Locked On Sun Devils, because he can run it, he can catch it, he can pass it, he can punt it, and he's your mom's favorite player. He's Cam Scadaboo, the people's running back. Love him to pieces. Big 12 championship game is Saturday next week in Arlington. I would love to go to the game. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it work between finances and the holidays, and not expecting ASU to go to the Big 12 championship game. So I didn't put this in my budget. So, oh no, I guess I'll hang out with my family and friends again. Or if anyone knows a really good ASU bar, you let me know and I will be there. Yeah, You know what? That sounds way better. If anybody knows a really good ASU bar, let me know and I will come out and I'll see if I can drag a couple of people along with me. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to put that out there for sure. That sounds like a blast. All right. Derek also has 2 no calls committed against him. Derek Yubio, the guy we were just talking about. I tuned out for the last 2 minutes of the game because my niece wanted to go play outside. And I was like, well, I mean, game's over. Yeah, we'll go play outside. So if that happened, then I didn't see it. I assume, Charles, you're talking about Derek Yubio. Let's see. Our field goal unit is showing signs of improvement. He hit the post. I heard it here in Tempe. Yeah, I think you could have heard that thing around the world. The funniest part is as I'm sitting there watching it, one of the people that was at my party, I think it was my grandma, funny enough, was like, if you have to settle for a field goal, do you kick the field goal or you go for it? And I said something along the lines of, no, you kick a field goal and you try to give them some confidence. And then I look and I go, oh, it's a 21-yarder. And it is at an angle. They should be fine. Doing. I was speechless. And I was like, yeah, no, if we didn't attempt another field goal for the rest of the year, it'd be too soon. That was disgusting. But whatever. They don't miss their PATs. I think they missed 2 all year, and we've got to have close to 40 at this point. So at least you got that much going for you. Oh, man, chat is seriously popping off. Win the Big 12 in the 4th seed. Oh, I already read that game. He was hit late. Also, pass interference. Poor kid. TD was hyped, though. Okay, that's interesting that Yubio was able to draw that. Makes me wonder if either the Arizona guys he was going up against are really bad, or if they're really raw, or if Yubio was that good that he was able to draw those kind of flags. I would have to go back and watch. Like I said, I probably missed it, unfortunately. That's awesome. 3 weeks. Yep, that's what we were taking a look at. Or the 12 seed, just have to win the first round and play Boise as the 4th seed. Then we will still play in Glendale, but I want the 4th seed. I'm with you. I would prefer the 4th seed, or I would prefer probably the 5th seed, I guess. Now, I don't know. There's drawbacks no matter what. So I do hear logic, because if you are the 12th seed, you get the win. You are in the Fiesta Bowl against Boise State, and that's still a home game. So interesting. There's a few different ways this could play out, I suppose. Did you see the U of A kid's ankle? Yeah, that was really, really bad. And I hope that he's okay, because that's tough, man. Like, we have these rivalries. We hate each other and everything. I'm not hoping that a kid like that gets hurt. So that's a real bummer. And I hope he's okay, and I hope he has a speedy recovery, because that was an ugly injury. That was ugly. Devils should be number 4 seed. If Boise State tanks it, they definitely would. If Boise State does not win next week, they're done. And even if UNLV were to win the Mountain West Conference in that scenario, they're still ranked lower than ASU. So pretty much we need Boise State to lose. Boise State loses, we will take one of the top 4 seeds. I would imagine they probably give us the 4th seed because, it's the Big 12. No one respects or likes the Big 12. So we'll see. Give Kenny the 7 to 10 year contract right now. Please, 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 please. Yes. You give him a blank check. Graham Rossini, Michael Crow, you give Kenny a blank check. You say, put however many years you want, put however much money you want. He is not leaving. I will tell you, I'm confident he won't leave, period. But why would you even risk it? You give the man what he wants. Kenny said it in last week's press conference talking about the players. I'm going to say it for him. Give the man his money. Give him the money. Show him the money. Do what you got to do. Keep him around. Richard Bradshaw. I assume that's my dad. What's up, Dad? Huge win. Cardinals Sin 96. I'm pretty sure that's one of my friends. I'm pretty sure. 99% positive. LFG Richie, the cup comes home and it stays. It's coming back to where it belongs, baby. The cup belongs in Tempe. I was glad to see Trenton get a touchdown. Me too. That was, honestly, that might have been my favorite part of the game. With everything that was going on, to see Trenton get onto the field when he hadn't been on the field all year, and then to score a touchdown in what might be his last appearance pending any injury. Knock on wood, I'm not trying to jinx that, but it very seriously could have been the last time he will ever be on the football field for Arizona State, and he got to throw a touchdown in the Territorial Cup in Tucson. That's awesome. I could not be any happier for Trenton. Devil's advocate is the bar, Charles Wilson says, and that is going right in my notes. Devil's advocate bar for Big 12 championship. Sounds good. I'm going to find some people to come with me, and we're going to go, and we're going to friggin' party. Let's see what else. Fear Testament Gaming. That is my brother-in-law. What's going on? Can't confirm Richie's reaction. Bro was sitting right next to me. The watch party was baffled, but also not baffled. 43 people in here. Let's get this working in the chat. Chat's popping right now. Fear Testament Gaming, and that the watch party. It was hysterical. Like you said, baffled but not baffled. Like it's like the least surprising thing possible, but you're still upset about it. Jagger DeBusk. What is going on, Jagger? Or Jaeger. It might be Jaeger. Forks up. You know it, baby. Forks up. Pay Kenny. Dang right. Forks up. Blank check. I agree. I actually have hope and excitement for the future of ASU football. Kenny needs to be protected from poaching. Yes. And the thing that I'm so confident with Kenny staying is that he's always described this as his dream job. He described it from when he was at ASU to when he was at Memphis, when he was at Oregon. It's always been his dream job. So he's got it. Now it's a matter of showing Kenny, hey, you're our dream coach. We value you the same way that you value us. We don't want you going anywhere. It's not going to be some situation where someone poaches him. This is another Kyle Whittingham, where Whittingham stayed at Utah forever and ever and ever, even though he was one of the best coaches in college football. That's what Kenny can be, what he should be, and what he will be. So ASU just needs to do what they got to do. Fulton Homes needs to open up their checkbooks to help pay Kenny. Anybody. Fulton Homes, Burrito Express, I don't care. Everybody get together. Ohio State is rumored to give Kenny a big contract if Ohio State doesn't win a national championship. Yeah, whatever, dude. And it's not at you, JH. It's just whatever to everybody else that's saying that. Kenny is not leaving ASU. Ohio State is not firing Ryan Day. And even if they did, they're not getting Kenny. Kenny's not leaving for Ohio State. So, besides, I'm sure Ohio State would think that they're better than Kenny Dillingham, and they would try for some other big fish. Who knows? Maybe they'd throw some mercy and say, Urban, can we get you to come back, please? I don't know. John Emler, 100%, just as Kenny Dillingham has said for his players, pay the man his money. Pay him his money. Kenny is home. He isn't going anywhere. Your nephew says, let's go, Uncle Uchi. That's my name. He calls me Uncle Uchi. And I love my nephew. He was rooting us on hard when he wasn't playing with the little toy cars. BC, he didn't just go to ASU. He grew up in Phoenix, too. He did. He's a Valley kid. He grew up an ASU fan. He's an ASU alum. Like, everything is here, and it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I leave? I'd be the same way. Why would I leave? If I were the head coach at Arizona State, sure, I'd want to be paid money, obviously, but, like, I'm coaching Arizona State. I wouldn't care if anyone called me. I wouldn't care if Bama called me, if Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon. I don't care. Texas, whatever. Whoever blue blood you want to throw at me. If I'm coaching for the school and the team and the program that I grew up loving, I'm not leaving. Like, it would take $12 million from the boosters at Michigan to get me to leave at that point. So he's not going anywhere. Kenny, if he gets a shorter contract and does well, could get poached by the NFL. I don't think so either. The NFL is so different than college. And you could even argue the NFL is almost easier than college because college has so much behind the scenes with recruiting and managing players and their grades and everything like that. It's just so different. And not everybody is meant for the NFL the same way that not everyone is meant for college. And Kenny's got a great thing. And why jinx it? If the Arizona Cardinals ever needed a new head coach, I have no idea. But I would stay. I know I'm good here. I know I'm going to be good here. And I know a lot of great things are going to come my way as long as I stay here. TCU's up 20-7 in the fourth now. Love it. Again, guys, TCU, if they win, ASU is in. That's all we need. 11 minutes, 42 seconds now in the fourth quarter. TCU up 20-7. Let's go Hypno Toad, baby. That's all we need. We get that. We're in. How crazy is that? I can see Urban coming back to Ohio State, but only for to be the highest paid coach. I can really see that. Never thought about that, Richie. Appreciate that, JH. I would say that that's got to be a super unlikely scenario because I think that Urban is enjoying his cushy gig as an analyst, and who wouldn't? I mean, you don't got to worry about recruiting. You don't got to worry about coaching, staying up all night and sleeping very little and working 365 days a year. That's a full-time job as a college coach. It's a whole different thing. You're going around the country, not just for games, but seriously, like recruiting. You're going to Texas, you're going to California, you're going to Florida, wherever. There's a lot that goes on with recruiting. So I'm sure that if Urban Meyer enjoys it in his media position, he wouldn't leave. Now, again, money talks, and if Ohio State gave him whatever he wants, I have no idea what you would offer him. A few $1 million for sure, probably 10, maybe 20. I don't know what the highest paid coach is right now, but yeah, you'd have to make him the highest paid coach. And even then, Urban has his health issues, and I don't know that he would come back. If Ohio State does can Ryan Day, I will tell you my personal opinion is you promote your offensive coordinator. The wide receiver. The former receiver. He played for the Dolphins. He had a couple of Pro Bowls. That's going to piss me off. I'm not looking it up because it's going to come to me. It'll come to me. So I would assume, and I personally would make him my next head coach. And I think he's already the assistant head coach. I know he's the offensive coordinator. So he's definitely in that spot to be able to take that role over. Fear Testament Gaming, Kenny also said that this was his dream job. He sure did. JH, Brian Hartline, thank you. I knew it started with a B. I knew I wasn't crazy. Brian Hartline, that's exactly who it is. I would promote Brian Hartline if they fire Day, and I just don't see that happening. Now, he is 0-4 against Michigan, and he just lost at home as the number 2 team, and if Indiana wins, and they will win, they're not going to the Big 12 championship. So that could be a fireable offense at a program like Ohio State, but I have no idea. I don't think it'll happen. But, I've been wrong maybe once or twice. Not too many times. I'm usually right most of the time. Just don't go through my Twitter or any of my older podcasts because, there's no point looking. I'm right. I'm always right. Trust me. I'm right. Charles Wilson, TCU interception in the red zone. Clutch. Oh, my goodness. That's clutch. Channing Canada. What a great name. Channing Canada. Cornerback number 7, picked him off and then took it for a touchback. Love that. We need to pay NIL to a field goal kicker. What happened to Noah Krinsky? There's no way that Krinsky was that bad in the tryouts that he didn't make the team with everything else that's going on. Give Krinsky another opportunity for freaking sure. And then, whatever's in the transfer portal, use your NIL for sure. Absolutely no question. I don't care what it takes. You need a kicker. Speaking of NIL, I don't know if you guys saw, or of course you saw, unless you were at the game. If you were watching the game on TV, you saw that Cam Scadaboo has that new, what's it called? He has that new NIL sponsorship with like a lifted trucks company. That is so his image, dude. Lifted trucks for Cam Scadaboo. That's perfect, man. God, you just can't drum that up any better. I was having a good old chuckle when I saw that he had the promotion and the sponsorship with a lifted trucks company. So spot on for him. We need a kicker. Yes, I thought that one kid tried out. He had to be better than who we have. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's Noah Krinsky. There's no way that Krinsky wasn't good. You can't convince me. So I don't know if ASU just decided hey, maybe we were too rash and we're sticking with our guys because it's not like they signed anyone. They stuck with Parker Lewis and Carson Kiefer and Ian Hershey. I hope that Krinsky keeps working, and I know he said he will. I hope that he sticks with his word because there should be a huge opportunity for him to get on the field at this point. Okay, don't be surprised if there is running backs throughout the nation that are in the SEC that would come to ASU because they see what Cam is doing. You're going to kill the transfer portal this offseason. Bold prediction right here. I've been saying it to like friends and family. I don't think I've said it on the podcast yet. If I haven't, then here's the first time you're hearing this. ASU will have a top 5 transfer class this offseason, and they will have a chance for the number 1 transfer class. They have killed the transfer portal the first 2 years of Kenny Dillingham. You're coming off a double-digit win season. Who knows how you end the season? Maybe you win a playoff game. I don't know. But ASU is going to be the place to be, especially with the NIL opportunities. There's going to be transfers here, and there's going to be big-name transfers here. I don't know who's entering the transfer portal, but I promise you if a former 5-star or a 4-star enters, if ASU calls them, they're going to listen. It's not like previous years where like, ASU? Yeah, I'm not going to ASU when I can go to Bama. They get a call from ASU, they're going to go, ooh, okay, they're contending. And they got some stuff going on. Cardinalson 96, the Giant is awakening. I can feel the low tremors. I'm feeling a lot more than low tremors, man. It is shaking right now in Tempe, Arizona. It is shaking in the valley. That Giant is waking up, and we are in for something special. All right, it's almost 50 minutes now, so we are going to wrap this bad boy up here, especially because I want to turn on the TCU game for myself. We'll wrap it up here. Charles Wilson says, if these athletes out there knew how many girls we have, how dope our facilities are, they would def transfer. Who was it? Josh. Oh, my God. He just came out here to interview Kenny Dillingham for last week's game. God, I can't remember his name. He's got his own podcast and everything, but it was hysterical. His tweet, he was talking about how ASU has talent of many kinds. He's so spot on, dude. Like, there's a lot that Arizona State offers, and a lot of it you can find on Mill Avenue. As long as you're responsible and do it legally. And again, make sure you take your Z-Biotic so you don't get hungover, and you can use the promo code LOCKEDONCollege to be able to get yourself a little bit of money back. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. Richie, I was so glad to see us down there on a business trip. We did work. We sure did, Scott. And I appreciate you for being one of my everydayers. JH, have a good one, my guy, Richie. It's a good day to fear the fork. It's always a good day to fear the fork, baby. But we are out and about for today. We will be back tomorrow to celebrate again on a regular scheduled podcast. And then next week's going to be a busy week because I got a good feeling we're going to the Big 12 championship game. So I'll catch you guys next time. Until then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun.